we live.
All right. Shalom. This is the brother Ra'aya
And the brother Amawat.
of GMS New Orleans coming at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahasham,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakah
Yahweh.
Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure unto the end, and to the few sincere Aqua, diligently learning in silence. Shalom. And hey, today is probably the highest holiday, highest holy day of these heathens out here, Christmas or Saturnalia, as its true origins go back to. And you can clearly see that the spirit out here isn't the spirit it was, 5, 10 years ago. There's no Christmas carolers out here, no big ornaments, people showing up to family members' houses, all that. It's a dreary, rainy day as it is, and that the spirit is just left this place. Why is that? Because Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai is bringing this place down. As we're going to get in Isaiah chapter 24, the city of confusion is being broken down. This place is, declining economically, morally, militarily, and even in this bread and circus that these people once took joy in, that is no longer, sufficing. The writing is on the wall, and the people can feel in their spirit that something big is right around the corner. And not big as in things are going to get better, but things are going to get worse. And, leading up to Christmas, I was just picking my coworkers' brains and random people here and there asking, oh, what are you going to be doing? It's like, oh, shit, I ain't going to be doing anything. If my family cooks some food, I'll go get something to eat. But to tell you the truth, I'd rather just stay at home. I even have one of my family members say they know, that I'm in the truth. They don't know to the extent that I'm in the truth, but they just know that, I follow the Bible. They're like, you should be lucky with your religion because you don't have to buy any Christmas presents for anybody and save money. The spirit of mirth and goodwill to all men, all that bullshit is dead out here. People are struggling financially. People just ain't in the Christmas spirit anymore. And this is a beautiful thing to see, as it says in Sirach, I believe 25. Hey, great is it to see the downfall of our enemies. And hey, to you Jakes out there that still want to cling on to this system and the ways of it, you're going down with it. And good riddance. But did you have a precept out?
God, I'm gonna get that for you real quick. This is the book
Okay.
of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 7. It says, There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
And that's what we're seeing, because Christmas was growing up. I know myself growing up, this brother growing up, even Jake in the lowest state they were in, Christmas was like the best time of the year. Even if Jake didn't have the money, Jake would find a way to get the toys for the kids, get the tree, have the family members over cooking abominable food. This was a cheerful time leading into New Year's and all that. But hey, everything is collapsing in Esau society. So that spirit of mirth is no longer in here. And Christmas is what? Like Valentine's Day, it's like a meter for what the wealth of America. Because what do you do on these holidays? You go out and you spend a lot of money. You have the elaborate ornaments, all the family members over, all that. But like we were just saying, people are strapped for cash out here. Inflation's only rising. People are holding on to their jobs and any money they may have left over from the C019 stimulus packages. People ain't got it like that anymore. And it's only getting tighter and tighter out here because Esau's system is collapsing. And we are seeing the downfall of his system right before our very eyes. And it's a beautiful thing. Hey, they got that song, Last Christmas, I Gave You My Heart. Hey, this could very well be the last Christmas. This could very well. Oh, Abaratazah. This could be the last Christmas, the last so-called New Year's, and Abaratazah, the last Passover, because we can see that 2024 is going to be a very eventful year. And as brothers have been going into, the powers that be just came out with, I guess you can call it a timeline clock, where it says they got 7 years, however many months and 10 days to hit all their goals to bring about their NW0. But this place, this place ain't, I'm speaking as a man, and Aparatazas the case, this place ain't got till 2030. Like, this place is hanging on by a prayer. And again, seeing this, one of the high money maker holidays, Christmas, in such a low state that it's in, lets us know that how close we are to Esau's system going down. And wasn't Black Friday, wasn't this like the worst recorded Black Friday in history as well? Hey, so the writing is on the wall.
Everything's down. The moral of these people is down. The economy's down. Everything is right where it's supposed to be, right before prophecy.
We're no longer, we're coming out of the cool of the day, which is what, when the prophets are out prophesying, we're about to get into the hot of the day, when that heat's out here, when these judgments are out here, as the brother said, the times we're waiting for.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 7. It says, "The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh."
Keep going.
"The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the heart ceaseth."
And hey, again, Christmas is a big example of that. The mirth, the tabrets, the harps, the Christmas carolers out there wearing that tacky Rudolph the reindeer sweater, kissing under the mistletoe. All that is not, this Christmas is not like previous Christmases. It's just completely in the gutter. People got bigger things to worry about. How am I going to pay my bills? Hey, so many of these economists out here talking about how people that have a car note, rent, and insurance, they literally have to drop one of them or drop two of them just to pay one of them. They can't pay all three at once. So and the brother Kaya said this the other day, if you can't pay one bill, you might as well can't pay all the bills. People are really they're living paycheck to paycheck, one eviction notice away from getting kicked off, one day away from their boss letting them go. It's real tight out here.
Yeah, it's not even paycheck to paycheck. Jake and Esau, they're living off their credit cards. When you're paying bills on a credit card and you're not paying the card down, you really can't afford your bills. You're not really paying them. You're borrowing, like they say, you robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're just kicking the can down the road, man. That's the majority of these people.
Hey, and that's another thing. The government, issued a new statement to these different credit card companies, putting more penalties on them if they issue out credit cards to people that can't pay the interest. So what's that going to do? Cause these companies to stop issuing out, more easily issuing out credit cards. So that's going to get people even more strapped. They won't be able to get on that credit. So what do you think is going to come next?
The sword.
More carjackings, more thefts, and more home invasions.
Kick those, as they say. This is verse 9. It says, "They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it."
Hey, they drinking their sorrows away. They popping pills for their sorrows away. And really since 2019 with this whole situation, you can look up the statistics. The numbers have risen dramatically for people that are alcoholics, people that are depressed, that are drug addicts, and especially amongst women, because the writing is on the wall that the society is going down, and these faithless carnal people out here see no way out. So they're going to try to escape reality the best way they can. And that's going to be a whole nother issue to compound upon things. When this thing really goes and people can't get their liquor, their drugs, their psychotic medication, you're about to see a whole different side of people out here.
Yeah. The Most High is going to show himself, and then he's going to show these people for what they really are. A bunch of degenerates that hate each other. Matter of fact, I'll just read the next verse. We can get that Isaiah 19.
We'll get that Isaiah 19. Shit, we can get it now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 19, starting at the top. It says, "The burden of Egypt," which is talking about the new Egypt, the spiritual Egypt, which is America. "Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." It's talking about our deliverance.
Okay. Oh, you got it, Doc. You got it.
Yeah, this is talking about our deliverance. This whole chapter is going into everything that's going on in our generation. All right, leading up to the ministry, which is precluding the Yahweh Shai coming back. And this is one of the major prophecies. Verse 2, it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom."
Hey, that movie trailer for Civil War. What kind of American are you? Hey, that might become the saying of 2024. Hey, what kind of American are you?
Yeah.
Hey, these people are divided on any level that you can be divided out here, from religion to sex, politics. So add in no lights, no food, no water. People are really going to become tribal out here and get it how they live.
Yeah, I've never seen this much like division amongst people. You got you got a gender war, men against women. You got racial wars, different races hate each other. You got philosophical disagreements, economic disagreements. You got people that can't get work, but they disagree on why the economy is the way that it is. No one agrees on anything except the men of the Lord. This ministry is really the only place where you're going to see thousands of people in one mind.
Yeah, literally just and go have a conversation with the average person out here and see how start talking about some things of substance and see how long that conversation goes before it turns into an argument.
Yeah, yeah. People just randomly like you got these Edomites, they hate, Zebulon and Issachar moving in, quote unquote, taking jobs, but these same jobs are jobs that Edomites wouldn't work anyway. So it's just like, then you got the actual heathen, they're coming in trying to bring money back to their homeland, which they're going to flee, according to the scriptures, they're going to go back to their homeland. All hell is breaking loose, and nobody, that spirit of unity, everybody coming together, that doesn't exist. That's a pipe dream.
God.
It
Shit,
says,
you can read the verse 4 on you can read the verse 4 on that, then we'll jump to that 14, Baba Kashah.
God. This is Isaiah 19, verse 3. It says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards."
And we know what that's ultimately talking about, the powers that be behind the scenes. They're looking to the prognosticators, the wizards, the witches, and the warlocks. Ultimately the spiritual demon Satan to get answers on what to do next. But the Most High is, taking that left-handed wisdom away from them. So they're scattering. Hence, this devil knows that he has a short time. So that's why he's sloppily speeding up his agendas out here. But, to the low, average, everyday Babylonian out here, what are they doing? They're clinging under their little idols or religious beliefs that they believe in. They're clinging onto their jobs. They're clinging onto the dollar. They're trying to cling onto Christmas. Is like, hey, let's just have one good Christmas where everybody can sit at the table and not have an argument. Everybody is hurting out here and through, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying earlier, like all of the people that are joined onto these holidays and this society in general, they're going to be destroyed because the Lord is making it plain that, first of all, Christmas is a pagan holiday, and you're going to celebrate it anyway, knowing it's, which we grew up thinking it had something to do with the so-called birthday of the Lord. But once you find out it's pagan and you still celebrating it, you're pledging allegiance to Satan. And that's with all these philosophies: democracy, feminism, Catholicism, Islam, all of these different beliefs. The men of the Lord, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord is exposed that all this stuff is false, it's all lies. So for you to know it's a lie and you're joined onto it, the Lord's going to destroy you.
And those are the peanut headed niggas over there, cooking that ham and macaroni with pork in it, talking about, oh, this is Yahweh Shai Day, and that they got King David over there. The Most High, hey, y'all are gonna get put to death, and Abaratazah is a public example. The Most High, just like the men of the Lord, hey, ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is sick of seeing you boneheaded niggas rebelliousness out here. And what does that rebelliousness really lead to? Uplifting Babylon, uplifting Egypt, going down to Pharaoh for help, which, with the spirit, I had those in mind to get those precepts later. But when we do get to them, was it saying in Isaiah 31, he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall. Everybody that is, those that uphold the system, those that run the system, everybody's going down.
God. Yeah, it tells you in Revelation 22 that you're basically, if you make or you love a lie, it's the same thing. You're a murderer, you're a dog, you're a heathen. All right, whether you're an Israelite by blood or not, if you make and love lies, you're outside of the temple of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It
Con.
says, and the
Let
Egyptians.
me let
Oh,
me. I was looking for one real quick. It was that one in Romans. Here, that Romans 1:32 to back you up. Who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. And when you read up, it talks about what? Moles. It talks about, being given unto idols and the lust of the flesh. But as it says, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, which, hey, you have the prophets out here telling you exactly what it is and what it's going to be. But Jake isn't taking heed to the words, like you were just saying. You have the prophets out here, and we've done plenty of videos, over the years, going into Christmas, going back to Saturnalia, the symbolism behind the tree and the tinsel and the different ornaments on it. But what? Jake doesn't take heed. Jake comes up with that weak, limp-wristed, moist excuse. Oh, it's for the children. Well, hey, the children are going to die, and you're going to die with them, and you've got nobody to blame but yourself. If you're still celebrating holidays and you've heard the truth, and especially if you were in the truth or are in the truth and doing things secretly, and you murdered your whole family, you're a mass murderer, you're a serial killer.
yeah.
Who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
Hmm.
As a brother Kaya also says, what you permit, you promote. And what you were saying, you believing in a lie, hey, you partaking in that lie as well. You with it. If you don't condemn it, you're with it. So what? You're going to receive the same judgments for it, that same death by pain.
God. And really, these holidays are for women. Okay,
Yeah.
there's no holiday that's actually for children, because children don't have understanding. They just like presents. You can give a child a present on any day, they're gonna be like, oh wow, thanks. They're gonna love unwrapping a gift, playing with a toy. They don't care about the so-called birth of Jesus, or they don't care about Santa. This is all for women. All right, Valentine's Day for the woman, Mother's Day for the woman, Christmas for the woman, Thanksgiving for the woman. These holidays are for basically to show off uh, how much money you can spend on your family, i.e., your woman. That's all it's about. Is woman worship,
Hey,
and it's fitting that you have the wreath and the phallic symbol, which is the tree. All of it's sex worship because all of it's woman worship. That's all these holidays are.
hey, you were saying kids love presents, but hey, women love presents even more.
Yeah.
Backing up all these holidays, just to cater to the woman. And look at the one so-called holiday for men, Father's Day. You get that Walmart belt and that some socks, some tacky, ugly tube socks, and some $10 cologne.
Yeah.
It just madness.
Yeah, you got most Jakes don't even get a meal on Father's Day.
Didn't even thank you. There was one eve, Jake was working. Jake was working his ass off. He took on doubles. I think Jake was talking about how he took on a triple to make some money. And then when he came home, his woman got an attitude with him because she didn't cook any food. And she said, "Oh, just microwave some pizza, some old pizza." Like,
Yeah, I remember that video. But I mean, he's putting up with that. You can't really feel sorry for Jake. Jake is
hey,
dealing with what he's dealing with.
hey, who will pity a charmer when he's bitten by the serpent?
Yeah.
But hey, what you were just saying, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, how these holidays is really just a stunt on people, how much money you have. Back in that Isaiah 24, the merry hearted do sigh, the tabrets and the cymbals are ceasing. Why? Because people don't have money like that anymore. People are having to really tighten their belts and really make their money go long, because they won emergency away from having their ass out on the street.
Con. Now, let me finish that 24. This is back in Isaiah 24 and 10. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in.
And we know, confusion, Babylon means confusion. So this is talking about America, Babylon the Great. As I said, the city of confusion is broken down. The architecture, the infrastructure is breaking down. The morality is breaking down. The economy. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Businesses are shutting down, closing their doors. People are getting evicted from their houses. And, people don't trust each other. They got their doors shut to their neighbor. Hey, I don't want to know you. I don't want to see you. You just stay over there and I'm going to stay over here. So how can you expect a society to function coming into a world war, coming into an economic collapse, coming into these hardships when the entire populace hates each other, doesn't trust each other? And, that's what they were talking about in that movie, Leave the World Behind. The Jake was saying, the Edomite contractor that I do his finances for, he was saying the worst military drill that they would war game is when you take away the lights, you take away the food, you take away communication, and what? We have a population that's already selfish and doesn't trust each other, so we don't even need to fire a bullet. They'll take care of it themselves. They'll fight each other. Egyptian rising against Egyptian.
They also mentioned spreading misinformation, which is all the media does. The media does not report any sort of facts whatsoever. Even if they report on an event that actually took place, it's always got some kind of slant to it. There's an agenda for everything, man. And that when you poison people's minds with misinformation and then just let them loose, that's going to increase. That's like pouring fuel on a fire.
And what's it say in Matthew 24? The love of many shall wax cold. Oh, you got it. Hey, get that word iniquity too in the Strongs.
This is Matthew 24, verse 12. It says, and this is in red letters, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
And hey, you said it was in red letters, so it's Yahushua speaking. What did Yahushua say? Think not that I have come to bring peace, but a sword. To bring division, to turn father against son, mother against daughter, brother-in-law against, sister-in-law. All just complete division is what Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua is bringing. And these people have been perfectly primed to go at each other's throats. And could you get that word iniquity, Baba Kashat?
This is Strong's G 458. Anomia. It says the condition of without law, because of ignorant of it, or because of violating it. It says contempt and violation of law, iniquity, wickedness.
Hey, so a state of lawlessness out here. Ultimately, this world being without the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. But what? These people disregarding, violating, and being contemptuous of their own government's laws, which we can see, in America, especially down here, barely any cops out here. You can pretty much get away with what you want to down here. It's got so bad in places like California, New York, that if people go and ransack a pharmacy or a store, the policy is if it's not above $500 or whatever, they just don't even try to stop them because the cops ain't coming. So
that's crazy.
With people seeing that there are no authorities out here to enforce the laws, and then again, when the food gets tight and the lights go off, and people lose their creature comforts, the Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and these cell phones, hey, they're going to go for what they know, the love of many waxing cold. And as it says in 2 Esdras chapter 15, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall spoil their house with the force of sword, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. These calamities that Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai is bringing to you people for the great wickedness you've been living in. And it also says in 2 Esdras chapter 6 that at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. Ultimately the reason all this is happening is because of wickedness. All right, the Most High's judgment is a result of disobedience. And so the only people that are going to be saved are those that repent and put their best foot forward to be obedient to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
I got one to back you up real quick. This is 2 Esdras chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
Right, because they've walked in great pride. There's no place on earth where people walk in great pride more than America, more than Babylon. People just stuck up for no reason. They have this saying, it's a term I think Esau, he calls it American exceptionalism. Like just because you're born here, you're somehow this great person. That's insane, man. The Most High alone is to be feared and reverenced, and going back to the order, he set up an order. You have righteous men of the Lord, in their own order. They're supposed to be reverenced in a specific order. Wives are supposed to reverence their husbands. Children, of course, are supposed to be obedient to their parents. Everything is completely upside down here. You got children talking crazy to their parents. You got women ruling over men. Then you have the nation of Israel, which knows that they're Israelites, bucking up against the prophets, the apostles. Everything is completely out of order here. And so the Lord has to he has to put the foot down, man.
And why is that? Because iniquity, lawlessness is abounding out here. This society does everything clean contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments. Hence why it's in this upside down, chaotic state.
Yeah, and I like how it says contempt and violation of law. Like people aren't just breaking the laws; they actually have a contempt for it. You know, it's one thing to have a contempt for the laws of America because they're unrighteous, but to have a contempt for the Bible, a contempt for the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, which only benefit you. All right, the laws create life, so you have a contempt for the laws. You have a contempt for life. Matter of fact, the scripture says that. Let me get that real quick.
Uh,
Yeah, this is it right here. This Proverbs chapter 8, verse 36. It says, matter of fact, I'm going to start at 35. It says, for whoso findeth me findeth life and shall obtain favor of Yahweh. It's talking about wisdom. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. So if you hate the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you actually love death. And you can see that. You can see the spirit of niggardry on people. They tattoo their face. They do all of this madness. They actually love death.
And they commit adultery, which what leads to you could run into the man whose wife you're sleeping with. He put you to death. You smoke cigarettes. You do drugs, like you eat abominable foods, and what it kills your insides, and you eventually die. Like you do everything contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments, thinking that you're living that modern, liberal lifestyle, but you're really living that death style, and you deserve everything that's coming your way.
There's no such thing as an alternative lifestyle. All right, life comes from following the Heavenly Father and His Word, and anything outside of that is death. All right, two men plowing each other. All right, a man being a degenerate, a nigga, doing all sorts of manner of wickedness, that only leads to death. It's not an alternative lifestyle. It's wickedness.
But we can get Jeremiah chapter 10 and read down to verse 5, because hey, we're going into how Babylon, the city of confusion, is being broken down. And what you Jakes that want to cling under this system, you want to live this lawless reprobate lifestyle, are you going to go with it? Your covenant with death is going to be disannulled. And what do we just have? That fucking hood rat Taraji P. Henson crying, talking about how I'm this famous person playing in all these movies, but I should have just went to nursing school and became a registered nurse, because Uncle Sam's sticking his hand down my pockets and taking my money, and I'm hurt out here. I'm through.
Yeah.
Tyrese has got a dress on now.
Yeah, the longer we stay here, the more defiled we become. That's why the Lord said, except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. The longer Israel is in Babylon the Great, the worse and worse we wax. And it's just, but you look at so-called celebrities, even ones you might have grown up listening to or somewhat looked up to, they just fall off. They lose their integrity, or the society just grinds you down, man. This is not a place of life. It's literally the valley of the shadow of death that the scriptures speak of. But this
and
is,
if I could say, lest we forget, we come to find out that TD Jakes has been dealing with Pump Daddy, not Puff Daddy, Pump Daddy.
What do you say? If that were true, all I have to do is repent. Man, come on, man. That's like OJ. He had that book, if I killed her, if I did it, or something like that. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
Hey, he's speaking with his mouth that if I repent, I'll be okay. But that colon won't be able to repent from that damage that's been done to it. But we'll leave that there.
Yeah, that's more Romans 1 activity right there. That recompense. But this is Jeremiah chapter 10, starting at the top. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen.
Point blank, period. learn not the way of the heathen. And when you go into, I believe it's Exodus 23, it talks about ye shall make no covenants with them, you follow after their ways. And what in Deuteronomy 7 verse 3, what a same thing, making no covenants with them. And because if make covenants and marry their daughters, which not making them a concubine, but making them like a wife, like you would make an Israelite wife, what their ways and their customs are going to take you away from your power, which we see every day of the week.
Every day. And it's all throughout the scriptures. The Bible actually has the history of the nation of Israel. You people of so-called Negro and Native Indian descent, your actual history is documented in the scriptures, and you can see everything our forefathers did, you niggas are doing right now. There's no new thing under the sun.
Okay.
It says, thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. And what's one of the ways of the heathen, man? It's going to tell you. I'm going to jump down to verse 3. It says, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Wait a second. What does that sound like? A tree getting cut down? And then what's it about to say in the next verses?
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
You cut down a tree, you put gold and silver and ornaments on it, and you hammer it down to fasten it. There's not too many things I can think of.
That's talking about a Christmas tree. What we call today a Christmas tree, or in the ancient world, is basically Nimrod's phallus. All right, the evergreen tree. The reason they worshipped it is it was one of the only trees that stayed green during the winter. So they thought it was magic. The heathen are ridiculous. They don't worship the Most High. They weren't created to worship the Most High. So anything that bewilders them or fascinates them, they make an idol out of it, and our people follow it. You're following someone who was created to serve you. It's bugged out, man.
And when you look in,
woman.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, same thing with the women. Women were created to serve men, and then men end up serving women. And what happens? They run out of their wits. Why doesn't that work? Because women inherently know that they're supposed to serve a man. So when you start serving a woman, it's like something inside of her, even if she doesn't understand it consciously, on a subconscious level, you're like, there's something wrong with this nigga. He's worshiping me. That's off. But the reverse is not true. When you order something correctly, when you order a society properly, everything works great, which is why what Proverbs 29 says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You got it out.
And when you also, do research into Nimrod's tree, what was one of the customs that those heathens would practice? Putting presents under it, as if Nimrod was gifting you for serving him. So no different than presents under the Christmas tree today. So clearly a custom of the heathen. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua said, learn not the ways of the heathens. And now, hey, let's jump to Isaiah chapter 28. You can start at verse 16, because backing up that Proverbs you brought up, when you don't follow the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, hey, you're gonna go into the ways of death. What? You've made a covenant with death. You haven't made a covenant with life. And making a covenant is what? You're coming into agreement with somebody over their terms, their gods, their philosophies, and their ways of life, which is what the majority of our people have done with Esau and this Babylonian Egyptian system that he set up.
God, this is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 16. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
And we know that's that cornerstone that was rejected. Yahushua, the rock, the rock that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, has built everything upon. And that's that sure foundation and that cornerstone, building up the foundation of the spiritual third temple that the elect are all a part of, that we all rely on to what? Take us out of the ways of this world and help us to navigate and not fall back into this darkness, but follow unto the ways of life, the covenant of life, but not unto the ways of death, which our people are doing, making these covenants and following after the ways of the heathen.
God, it says, verse 17, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place.
Hey, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding shall be the stability of your times. And what's it saying that Isaiah 25, I will destroy in this mountain the covering cast over all the people. And Yahushua said in Second Thessalonians, Apostle Paul said in Second Thessalonians that what the Lord is going to destroy this man in his system first with his mouth, and then with the brightness of his coming. So what the men of the Lord are out here sweeping away that refuge of lies, exposing this wicked society for what it is. And then when Yahushua comes, what's he coming with? You know, that hail to sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding places, those nuclear missiles, as well as those laser beams from the chariot, just completely destroying America and hitting places all across the planet to judge you people for your wickedness.
Yeah, going back to Isaiah 19:1. You know, he's going to come in with that cloud. Again, that whole chapter is talking about Babylon the Great, our ministry, what's going on in this vile society, and the destruction of it. But this is back in 28. It says, "And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you shall be trodden down by it."
Hey, what does it say in I'm gonna get it real quick in 2nd Esdras chapter 16, where it says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you with idols, feed you being idle with things offered unto idols, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot." You Jakes, that continue to give into Esau's system and ultimately, take that MOTB, what? You're going to be trodden down underfoot. You think that by making this covenant with Esau, that overflowing destruction, that scourge is going to pass over you, but you just marked yourself to be the main target for it. You're going to be in the midst of these calamities of Jacob's trouble, and if you survive all that, what? You got a missile with your name written on it.
Uh-huh.
But I just got 2 more we can go into, and unless you got anything, we can shut it down from there. But we can jump to Isaiah chapter 30 and read verses 1 to 3. Baba Kasha.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 30, starting at the top. "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh," which the children of Yahweh are the Israelites. It's talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord calls you rebellious children. It says that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Keep going.
That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Hey, going down to Esau, Edom, going down to America, going down to Joe Biden, to what? Make that covenant of death, learning the ways of the heathens and trying to become a part of this system. Not taking heed to the counsel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai or his prophets. When a tragedy happens, Jake doesn't call out for Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. He calls out for FEMA. And then look at you, you're in a much worse case afterwards.
Yeah. It says, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion."
And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and trodden underfoot. The devil, this devil you're going to, lock arms with, that's going to be the very same devil that's going to put you to death. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai made this man to be his sword to punish us for our wickedness. So what? If you got a sword constantly hacking away at you for being disobedient, a wise person would stop being disobedient and follow after the laws that they're breaking. But Jake doubles down on it. The whole head is sick. So Jake is running straight into that blade. So what? Jake is going to get hewn into pieces by it, and rightfully so.
Yeah, that even goes back to our law. When you go to the commandments, it tells you if you have a rebellious son, you can beat your son. And, like you just said, a wise person, if they keep getting punished over and over again, they're going to learn from it. But if your son is too rebellious and he keeps bucking up, you put him to death. You can stone your son if he's too rebellious. You're not supposed to keep beating someone over and over again and just punishing them perpetually, and they just keep doing the same thing. You got to die. That's in the law.
Hey, going back to living in this society of iniquity without laws. If that law was instituted, a lot of these monstrous monsters and a lot of these issues with these worthless dime bag niggas out here would be solved overnight.
Yeah, all of these monsters were created by, again, everything being flipped upside down. You take the man out the house, and then you raise your sons to believe that they don't have to follow their father. because your daddy ain't shit. You look just like him, which is what the nigga woman teaches Jake. So then Jake reaches an age where he's like 12, 13, 14 years old. He has no point of reference of authority, reverencing any type of authority. So what is he going to be? He's going to be a degenerate. So I mean, that's common sense. But scriptures speak about the ostrich. They don't have that wisdom.
But yeah, you had one.
Yeah, I just want to get this real quick, going into the absurdity of idols, including the Christmas tree. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 8. It says, "But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being corruptible, it was called the Most High. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High." So, matter of fact, let me just read 10. It says, "For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it." So you're going out of your way to give life to an inanimate object. When this place is destroyed, all of these Christmas trees and the people that made them, the people that cut them out, the people that sold them, the people that celebrate Christmas, they're going to be destroyed. There's not going to be idolatry on the earth when Yahushua institutes the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be completely destroyed.
And I believe it also says in Wisdom of Solomon that the man that made this thing is better than the thing that he made. So why is he giving reverence unto it?
Yeah. But again, that's everything about Babylon. You have Jake that are worshiping Esau, Edom, who was created to be your servant, but you're looking up to him. You're going to him for advice. You have Jake, the Israelite man, worshiping the woman who was created to serve you, and she's worshiping Esau. So you're worshiping someone who's worshiping your enemy. Then you wonder why there's no such thing as black love anymore. Bugged out, man.
When you took the words. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, you got it. Right?
You took the words right out of my mouth. And hey, it is black love, because what does black go into? Darkness, evil, and between the so-called Negro man and woman, they got black love. It's a dark, decrepit, evil relationship they have together.
Yeah, because it's out of order. Everything that the Lord made righteous, it's only righteous when it's in order. All right, you can. It tells you in Sirach that all of these things are for the good to the godly, but when you take something like sugar, bread, honey, you could take those things and make them into wickedness, man. So the same thing with marriage. Marriage is actually a beautiful thing, a covenant between a man and a woman. But when it's out of order, it creates confusion. Children that hate the world, like why was they even born? Like that's what comes from taking a society and turning everything upside down, which is what the so-called white man has done.
Hey, remember that video I sent you, that one Edomite looking guy who was like, the conclusion I've come to is that, people that haven't been born have it good because you're not missing anything.
Yeah. That, what do they call it? Nihilism.
Mm-hmm.
These Edomites, and really our people too, but mainly Edomites, when you don't have any hope in this world or the world to come, your mind goes to a real dark place. That's why this ministry is so important, because the more and more that the Lord breaks down the city of confusion, the more we get closer to the kingdom of heaven. But if you don't believe in the kingdom, if you don't know anything about the scriptures, you don't know what's about to happen after America is destroyed. If your hope is in Babylon and you see all your hopes and dreams destroyed right in front of you, you're gonna bug out. These people are gonna lose it. For real.
Hey, like Gerald Salente always said, when people got nothing left to lose, they lose it.
Yeah.
Kind of. But if you ain't got anything, we'll close it out in Isaiah 31, verses 1-3. And hey, as it says in Proverbs, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. So hey, you Edomites in America is going down, and you Jakes that want to continue to cling unto this American nightmare, and you going down with it badly.
You bugged out if you still believe in America. And it's almost 2024. You still believe in democracy. You still believe in feminism. You still believe in Christianity. You still believe in the goodness of the so-called white man, that he's going to give you niggas reparation. They keep coming out with these articles like that this city's thinking about bro. Esau, first of all, Esau is broke. Second of all, if he pays you back, it's going to be in debt notes. Third of all, the day that they sign a bill to give reparations to the descendants of slaves, that's going to be the same day they start telling the truth about, the Irish were slaves and these people were slaves. Like, this man's not going to give you anything to help you. He's the devil. How does Jake not see? Well, we know how, but it's all prophecy. But Jake really can't see that this man's the devil in 2024.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is Isaiah 31, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are also very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh."
They go down to Egypt for help. They go down to Esau and America for help because what? The horses, horses, in the scriptures can be symbolic for power. They see Esau, Jake still believes that lie that this is the number one military, that the US dollar is never going to go down, and that, yeah, this is just a road bump, but we're going to bounce back. Jake is clinging unto dear life for this system, which is on life support. So that's why it says, woe unto you that go down to Egypt, destruction, because destruction is the only thing that's coming your way.
Yeah, the United States military right now is full of like fat people, trannies, women, and men that don't care about the country that they're fighting for because the country doesn't care about them. So you really think they're going to stand up to Russia and China's armies? Armies full of like they just passed that bill in China. They ban effeminate men. You can't come on television and be an effeminate man. These other nations are getting back in that ancient spirit. And the Lord's only doing that to the men of the Lord here in Babylon. Everybody else is getting more soft, more cucked out, more tolerant of alternative lifestyles. These people aren't ready to go to war, man.
Hey, there's a whole trend on TikTok right now about how Gen Z will refuse a draft and we're not fighting in the military. And then you got people in the military doing that's become a trend too, where they're saying, hey, don't join the military. You're not going to make the money you want to make. It's just a waste of time. This whole society is just completely compromised. And what you got the Chinese banning effeminate men, and Russia's just been fighting a World War I, World War II style real war for the last couple of years. So they've got hardened veterans, battle tested, and you think a Twinkie eating nigga or a fucking or a moist metrosexual Edomite is going to fight against that?
Yeah, with panties on.
Panties under his fatigues.
What was that? Was he a lieutenant, a sergeant, a general? I think it was a general. Like one of the generals in the U.S. Army is a man. Anyway, this is verse 2. It says, "Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity."
Hey, the Most High is bringing this evil, and it's not going to turn back. And as it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, once those plagues are sent out, hey, and that fire is kindled, those plagues can't be called back, and that fire can't be put out. It's been, decreed from the beginning that this place is going to be destroyed, and now we're coming into the fulfillment of those judgments.
God. Verse 3, it says, "Now the Egyptians are men, and not the Most High."
Backing you up, what did you just say? Here, Esau Edom is a creation of the Most High, and the woman was created to serve the man. But what? The Most High, or what? Jake is worshiping the creations more than the Creator.
Yeah, everything's backwards, man. Jake is worshiping the so-called black woman, and the so-called black woman is worshiping the so-called white man. That's completely upside down. This nigga, he just got out the caves a few hundred years ago. He didn't have a language. We had to teach him how to speak, teach him how to bathe, teach him, Gad taught him how to survive when he came to the Western Hemisphere. Gad, Reuben. All right. So you're worshiping a troglodyte, a literal, like a cave ape. He's just a shaved cave ape. And that's why people are looking to like, yeah, he has all the answers. Bugged out, man. It says, "Now the Egyptians, the Americans, are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall all fail together."
Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Esau, who built the system's going down, and you Jakes that try to uplift it. Hey, y'all are all going down together, miserably and painfully. And beautiful is it to see the downfall of your enemies, ultimately talking about these Edomites and heathens, but you wicked Jakes as well. You're our enemies. You're holding back progress, so to speak. So once everything's said and done, this wickedness is going to be swept away by that besom of destruction. And then the only thing to come next is what? Hey, the kingdom of heaven, where everything's going to be turned right side up. And there ain't going to be no Christmas or leaving out milk and cookies for a sodomite in a red suit.
Madness.
But you had any closing points you wanted to make, Ike?
No, that's it.
Kind. Okay, so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified by this lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabashai, Bahasham, Rakahak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shalom.
Shalom. And Merry Christmas. No, just
Abad Babal.
Baba Ball.